Hello everybody and welcome to the Last Wish raid guide. So the first thing you want to do when you load it up is just have everybody get into this room, then Riven will start talking to you. And then once she's done talking, the door will open up to the left. Then just kind of jump up these crystals, jump this big gap. Then you can either go up the stairs on the right or you can just jump up these rocks. And the encounter will just be right here to the right into that room. So this first encounter is going to be Kalli. There's going to be those 6 symbols in the middle. There will be 2 of 3 symbols. And there will be 9 plates on the outside edges of the map. You want to make sure that everybody's getting one of those symbols that are in the middle of it. And just make sure everybody's on a different one. And there will be 3 symbols outside the map that are not in the middle. If you stand on those ones, it will spawn an ogre in the middle. So just don't stand on those ones. Just get all the ones that are in the middle. Once you get one of those, every one symbol that you do will open 3 doors for damage phase. And it will be the 3 on the side that it is on, kind of hanging above. So just kind of stand on your plate, make sure you're not in the taken stuff, and then just keep rotating back and forth. And then eventually a knight will spawn, kill the knight, and then you're done and you can head to the middle for damage. And once they start damage, just go ahead and deal as much damage as you can until she does this. Then these doors will open. You'll want to make sure you jump into your correct door. The best way to do this is to just kind of go by roster, which is alphabetical order. You'll see so just whatever position you are, take the number door that I showed right here. And then just kind of do that again for 3 times. So jump up, do damage again like we're showing right here. And once she starts her attack, then you go ahead and hop into your corresponding door. Best to label them just 1 through 6 and then top left to bottom right, like you would read a book. So you'll have 3 damage phases per phase. Then after your 3rd damage phase, if you have her pretty low, you don't have to step on any plates. You can just kind of step on one, bait her over, and deal enough damage to her out of one of the plates. Or you can just step on a plate to start the timer and then just kind of wait until she moves back to the middle. Or if you need more damage, then you can just rinse and repeat. Either way, once she's dead, you'll just follow this path up here.
But my sister remains enthralled.
Just jump on this rock. Gonna go to the right.
Glory. Peace. Or is it simpler than that?
Without Shuro Chi, we cannot defeat Riven. Find her, save her, and know this. Riven will try to seduce.
Once you reach this area, there will be a secret chest that you can get. So if you just jump over to these beams here, and right down below here where I'm jumping right now, there will be a little ledge with a rock into it, or on it, sticking out. There will be a chest right there, and opening the chest will spawn this portal. Jump through that portal to get to the other side, and then you can just jump over to the little rocks right here. Head through the crystal room, then you'll jump over here to these rocks. Take a right, then just keep following this path until you get to Shuro Chi. Another thing I forgot to mention is the Fallen Guillotine sword and the Trinity ghoul, I think, are the best weapons to use during the entire raid. Doesn't really matter what your kinetic gun is, but those 2 guns are extremely good, especially if you have the, or I guess only if you have the Trinity Gold Catalyst. So Shuro Chi, you're going to need to just clear out all these ads. You're going to see a timer on the left side of the screen, Shuro Chi's song. If that timer gets all the way to 0, you will die. So just want to jump into this room, clear out all the ads as fast as possible. Again, Trinity Gold does this really well. And going to kind of get to her plate right here that I'm showing. You're going to need 3 people to step on each of these plates and grab the prisms that they spawn right here. You'll need to jump on them at the same time because when you're on them, it'll start hurting you. And then just shoot shoot the player to the right of you, and so that you're all touching each other. And then it will drop her shield. You can deal in DPS. You need to do 1/6 of her health, so it's kind of separated by those lines on her health bar. If you don't do enough damage, then it's going to wipe you. But just have a sword on, it should be pretty easy. The taken eyes that you can get from these captains, just don't worry about those. Those don't really help a lot. If anything, if you use the super when everybody's trying to sword the boss, then they'll die. So I would recommend just not using that at all. It's not really helpful. You can make damage phase a little bit longer if you use the super on her, but again, people are going to be swording her and you're just going to team kill. So just don't do that. Do DPS normally, shouldn't be that hard. And then after the second time, or after every 2, I should say, going to get into this room right here with a bunch of plates and a symbol on the wall. You'll need to have 4 people choose a play of 1, 2, 3, or 4, and just kind of like the person counter, just all the blank spots, 1 through 4, left to right, bottom to top. And you can't step on the same one 2 times, so if you've already stepped on one, then go ahead and say, hey, 1 and 2 swap, or 3 and 4 swap, or whatever you need. And shouldn't be too hard. Then once you do all 3 of these symbols, you can jump up these kind of cauldron things, cups. Then be careful when you're jumping up because there will be phalanxes right there to push you off. Then it's just kind of rinse and repeat, so you'll go do 2 more of those damage phases, then another room, and you'll do 1 more damage phase, and the last damage phase, I recommend killing all the ads before you pick up the prisms. As you can see, the prisms spawn, but the ads still spawn, so just go ahead and clear those out first. And then once they're all gone, then you can pick up the crystals and start damage phase without any ads hurting you. And then it's just final stretch of damage. And once you do that, the encounter is complete, and you can move on to Morgeth. Move down to Morgeth, you'll want to jump through the door down here.
You saved
We'll
my
go
sister.
to the right.
Thank you.
You sully the sacred architecture of a culture you cannot understand.
There will be a tree that you have to jump up.
You won today.
Ahamkara feed on desire. Your desires could feed a nation of such beasts.
Could that be what you're driving toward? Do you have the audacity to wish for
And then you can
my
just use this little lip at the bottom
Perhaps you and I
to
can
catch
work
yourself.
together.
Then you can
Only
just jump
then
all the
will
way up.
Riven be contained.
And there's a secret chest in this area, so just follow the path that I'm taking right here. Then you'll get to the secret chest. So once you get to this part of the area, usually you'll want to go right to get into the next room, but if you take a left, Then you'll go outside again, see this little tree. You can jump onto this tree. There will be kind of a little landing right there. Jump up, and then just go over, and your chest is right there. You can go back the way you came, or what I usually do is I just jump down. It will take you back to the start of this room, and then just go the same route, but to the right this time.
Words to carve this city into the screaming surface of reality.
Once you get to the teleportal, then you'll just want to go through kind of this path that I'm showing right here. You can jump onto the pillars right here, or the kind of beams. Then you can just jump straight across. You don't need to worry about any rotating platforms at the moment. Then you'll want to wait for this thing to get a good rotation where you can land on it. And then jump up on the second one. And then you can jump on this little slither right here. Go to the right. And you have made it through the little kind of taken realm. Alright, so for Morgeth, you are going to want to have 3 people on right, 3 people on left. The left side team is going to have 1 player pick up the first orb and the last orb. They will spawn in the middle. Then you'll have 1 player pick up the orbs that spawn on the top side of the map, and 1 player that picks up the orbs that spawn on the bottom side of the map. This will make it so that each player has 1 taken strength on the left side. And then on the right side, you're going to have 1 player pick up the first 2 sets, or the first 2 orbs that spawn. And then the other player will pick up the second set of orbs that spawn. And then the third player on right is going to be the first cleanser, so they're going to take the Eye of Riven and take it to whoever is trapped first. And the first person that's going to be trapped is always going to be on the right side, since they're going to have 2 taken strength instead of 1. So they can just cleanse over there, and then whoever gets cleansed is going to be the first person, or the next cleanser. So they won't pick up any more orbs. If you pick up 3 orbs, so you have 3, if you try getting 3 taken strength, you're gonna die and drop all your stacks of taken strength. So if you have 2, you can't really do anything. So once you do that, then you'll kind of just finish it off, get the second player so that everybody has 2. So you can see right here, they're cleansing him right now. That's the second cleanse. And so the last orb in the middle spawned right there. And then for damage, you're just going to want to kind of go here behind him. And then you can deal your damage. You can use shotguns or, again, just sword him. Swords are kind of weird though, they kind of go all over the place. But it does damage, I promise, as you can see right here. I think sword or shotguns are a little bit more reliable, but I mean, I don't feel like switching weapons during this raid, so I just keep my sword and bow on.
You don't hesitate to reach.
And once he is defeated, you can move on to the vault encounter. So just kind of head up these stairs and go up the elevator.
Pair best with my kind. Like you. Like the awoken prince. Shall we be friends?
Alright, so for the vault encounter, to start it, you're going to want 3 people stand on all 3 plates. And you're going to see these symbols in the middle. You're going to want the middle person to call out their middle symbol. Then one person is going to have that symbol on either their left or their right. And whatever they call out, let's say if they say it's on their left, then that side, so let's say tree is called that out, said, hey, it's on left. That means that tree is going to be penumbra. If they said it was on their right, then that would mean trees would be antumbra. Then once the first player calls out left or right, then they're going to call out their middle symbol, and then somebody else will say, hey, that's on my left or right. Then that person will call out their symbol, and then the last person will say, hey, that's on my left or right. Then you're going to need to keep track of where those were, and then you're going to go kill this taken ads in the room that's open. Once you pick up the Eye of Riven, you're going to have a buff called Antumbra or Penumbra. Make sure that you slam it at the right place. It will be the grenade button. Just go stand on the plate and use the grenade button to activate it. And that will be it. So just keep track of where the Antumbra and Penumbra buffs are, and you should be good. For defending, you're going to want to make sure that you're killing these knights before they slam on your plate. If they get to the plate and place their sword in it, then they are going to wipe you. So just make sure you're killing them quickly. Again, sword, really useful for them. And when they pick up the taken eye, just make sure you're calling out which door is open next, because it will close off their area. They'll have to go to either the left or right, so just say, hey, stairs is open, or hey, rock is open. Wherever is open, just let them know so they know where to run to. It will follow the same pattern with after the first time that they go through, or the first runner goes through, but just keep calling it out, and then just kind of rinse and repeat that for 3 more times, or 2 more times, for a total of 3 times. That will be it, and then you can move on. Rinse and repeat, and then you can move on to Riven. So just wanted to go through these doors here, go through kind of this like library of whatever. Museum. And once you get to Riven, then you're going to want to have all 6 people stand on these plates. We're going for the cheese because nobody ever does legit anymore. So make sure you put on a sword and put on like boss spec or taken spec. If you have taken spec, it's better. But once you launch down to Riven, you're just going to go to the crystal side, or the blue side, or the left side, whatever you want to call it. Once there, you're going to want to hug this wall. We'll say joining allies, and it will teleport you all the way up to the top of the map. Now you're at the top of the map, you have to kind of stay quiet. You'll hear Riven's footsteps on either the right or the left side. It's easiest to do this with headphones, so hopefully one person in your group has headphones on that they can hear. And they just go to the opposite side of where the footsteps sounds were. Drop down, go reverse. Once here, you can clear all the ads for safe damage. make sure you're not like too up on top of these stairs, otherwise Riven will spawn on you. Just stay back a little bit, wait for her to spawn. Once she comes in, then just kind of start smacking her with your sword. I like to do 3 hits and then a heavy for the first time, and then just light attacks until I get my heavy charged back. You want to have a well or a bubble right there also to be safe and protected from the taken essence that's killing you. But once you get to like her 10% damage health marker, you're going to be teleported into this taken realm. Then you're going to be slowly losing health, so you want to do it semi-fast, but you're a warlock, you can heal yourself, so kind of whatever. There'll be a bunch of phalanxes that will try to push you off. Just make sure you take care of them, or you can run past them like I'm doing right here. And then once you get to the top, you'll see Riven and you can go through the orb. We'll take you to the top of the map again. And then again, you can just smack her in the hand with your sword. And then she will die, but the encounter is not over yet. So you'll want to wait for her animation to finish. Once you see this bright light, you can go through her mouth into her body. Once you get to the end of it, you're going to see this big heart. You're just going to want to deal enough damage to that. Once it breaks, then the encounter is finished. Alright, so for Queenswalk, you're going to have one person that is blessed with the Riven's heart thing. It'll stay on the left side of your screen. And then this will have a big white orb around them, cleansing anybody that's in it of the creeping darkness. If your creeping darkness gets to 11, you're going to die, so make sure you're standing inside the orb as long as possible. There'll be a bunch of ads, so just keep clearing them out as you're going through, following the person. They're going to have a timer on their screen. Just make sure they're counting that down so that the person that gets teleported inside will know when to pick up their orbs. They're taking strength buffs in there. You want to pick them up at the kind of like 3-second mark when they're counting down. Then just it will keep teleporting people in as the counter goes down. So once the counter hits 0, then they're going to be teleported into the heart. And in there, they'll just keep picking up the taken strength, you know, at the right time of 3 seconds. So I've actually in this gameplay I didn't get teleported into the heart, so I'm able to show you the full route of where to go if you do not get teleported inside the heart. So one of these 2 sides of the room will be open, the other one will be blocked off. Whichever way it is, just keep heading that way. You'll go the long way around, so you're going to go the opposite way of stairs. So if you entered in rock, then you're going to go to the trees and then to the stairs. Or in like my gameplay, I went through the trees and then to rock to get to stairs. And don't want to jump down on it like a half heart, so just wait for the heart to drop and then you can head down with your buddies. Then once you head down the elevator, just want to go up to these stairs with this Riven statue, slam the heart, and that is the raid completed. After that, you can use your Riven keys, your ethereal keys that you get from killing Riven, on these chests. So
It is done. We
You
will
can
meet you on
really,
the
you
other
can just
side.
go through or do Riven 3 times and then do Queenswalk on one character and still get the same amount of
I thought they'd
loot.
never leave.
But anyways, that is the raid completed. I hope this has helped you guys out, and I'll see you in the next one.
Through your actions, we've forged an age-old bond between my kind and yours. One wish granted deserves another, and I cannot wait to show you what she asked for. A murderer mine.